Hi, everyone. Thanks for tuning in and welcome to episode 42 of Takeaways, our series where we talk about additional insights and some final thoughts on our monthly newsletter articles. My name is Patrick Searcy. I'm Director of Marketing for ALN Apartment Data, and I'm joined by the actual star of the show here, Jordan Brooks, Senior Market Analyst. Jordan, how are you?
I'm great, Patrick. What about you?
Doing well. Happy New Year. It's great to talk to you. We're talking about the first newsletter article of the year. It's called Improvement in Multifamily, but Challenges Remain. So reading through your article, it seems like this year kind of promises to be a fascinating one for our industry. It was a bit of a roller coaster ride through 23, some shifts in apartment demand and kind of a recalibration of the rent growth. So it seems like it'll be an interesting year for sure. But before we get into all of that, I want to make sure that you don't forget to click that notification bell if you're on YouTube so that you can subscribe to your channel and don't miss any of our latest video content. Now, Jordan, let's start this whole discussion off by talking a little bit about your thoughts on 2023 and the new year.
So, as you said, 2023 was an interesting year for sure. In particular, we saw fairly dramatic changes to both apartment demand and to rent growth. For apartment demand, almost 150% increase in terms of net absorbed units nationally from 2022, which the glass half full version of that's a huge improvement, which is obviously good news. Unfortunately, that improvement comes from the sort of trough level of 2022. And so even with that improvement last year, annual net absorption was quite low relative to the historic norm nationally. But nonetheless, we had a step in the right direction for sure. In terms of rent growth, we saw a dramatic change there, and that change was a softening. So we went from about 8% average effective rent growth for new leases nationally in 2022 to about 1% in 2023. And that was something that really started from the beginning of the year and carried through all the way through the end of 2023 in terms of more muted rent growth. And then, of course, the big headline for the year was new supply. More than 450,000 new units delivered after what was already a very active year in 2022. And that's something, as we move into 2024, that's something that we do anticipate continuing this year as well.
Well, you covered a lot of ground in this month's article. You talked about 2023 and looking ahead at this year. You talked about apartment demand, rent growth, the labor market, single family homes. What didn't you get a chance to put into the newsletter article that you came across or thought about while you were writing?
We definitely tried to touch on a lot of topics this month, sort of as a big picture sort of summary view of last year, and then sort of some factors to watch this year. One of the areas we really didn't have space for was inflation and interest rates. We try to keep the newsletter a reasonable reading length. So, that's an issue where obviously inflation played a huge role in, not only the multifamily industry, but the economy more broadly in 2023 and 2022, in fact. This year, that's still something that is going to have a big impact, worth watching for sure. We had made some progress in the back half of 2023 in terms of the sort of trend in monthly inflation data. We had a little bit of a hiccup in December where inflation ticked back up. So this is something that's going to be an ongoing issue in 2024 still. We have seen, as you mentioned, the labor market was something that was touched on in the newsletter. The labor market has been resilient, but has softened a bit. And that was a factor in taking some of the momentum out of the inflation that we had seen previously. But looking ahead, continued improvement in inflation is going to be important because of, among other things, what that means for interest rates, for mortgage rates, and how all of that affects multifamily. So, mortgage rates in terms of multifamily demand, particularly in markets that have a high rate of home ownership versus renter households, and particularly for, Class A and Class B demand, especially. But and then the interest rate side as well, just in terms of getting some movement in terms of transactions for multifamily and sort of the financing picture, and that affects obviously new development as well as the buying and selling of existing properties. So that's certainly an area that is going to continue to play a large role in the industry this year.
Well, this year has just begun, but we're already getting geared up so that we can head out across the country. I know you have speaking engagements. There's some conferences and trade shows and some really other, other really great events that are coming up. Starting us off, just to put that out there, is the HAA Gala. It's hosted by the Houston Apartment Association on January 18th. You can see Karen Nelson there. On the 19th, on that next day, if you're in the Richmond, Virginia area, you can see Tammy Longo at the 2024 VAMA Rammy Awards, which is coincidentally very fun to say. And then after that, I know it's a few days later. Jordan, what do you have coming up?
Well, I'll be speaking at the IREM Annual Economic Forecasting Lunch in Boston on January 25th. And then I skip all the way to the end of February, and I'll be speaking at the International Builders Show in Las Vegas, February 27th.
All right. Well, you can also see Jordan in San Diego, along with Robert Durham on the 30th, I believe, of 30th of January. In San Diego. That's for the NMHC annual meeting, and kicks off on the 30th. February is certainly a very busy month for us. Well, make sure that if you are in the area and you see us at any of these events, just say hello. Keep an eye on our social media for more information about these events or any other events that we'll be going to, for any announcements that we have. You can follow us on Twitter at ALN APT Data. You can also find us on Facebook, LinkedIn, or Instagram. Just search for ALN Apartment Data. And don't forget to check out our blog for all the latest written content like market overviews, top 10s, and more. You can find that at alndata.com/blog. Thanks for watching. And as always, you can contact ALN Apartment Data if you have any questions about our data, our methodology, or how we can help your business make data-driven decisions. Until next time. We'll see you later. Thank you so much, Jordan.
Thanks. See you next month, Patrick.